Okay, good morning, class.
Good morning, sir.
Can you arrange your seats first? Start with that. Okay, thank you. Miss Bantayan, can you lead the prayer?
In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Amen. Okay, before we start, let's check your attendance first. Miss Abian,
Present.
Miss Garagatan.
Present.
Oh, very good. You're all present for today. Clap your hands. Give your hands.
Before you sit down, let's have some static and dynamic exercise. So please stand up and follow me. This exercise is called stutter steps. So stutter steps is bend your knees and then your arms is slightly raised. Then start stepping and jumping like this. So class, follow what I've performed.
Okay, sir.
Very good. You may now take your seat.
Thank you po, sir. Okay, class. Last meeting, we discussed about what?
Basic movements of basketball.
Oh, very good. So, we discussed about basketball, right?
Yes,
Let's
sir.
have a review. Now, so basketball, can you read? Basketball is?
Basketball is a game in which two teams of 5 players bounce a ball and try to score points by throwing the ball through one of the raised nets each end of a rectangular court.
Okay, very good. So basically, basketball is played with 5 players with 2 teams. So for now, our discussion is also about basketball, but we'll be focusing on the referee's job. So do you know what is a referee?
No, sir.
Oh no, so I will explain it to you, okay? So referee are those officiating officials, that manage the game. So they have these specific hand signals to determine if the players had performed a foul or a violation. So what is a foul? Can anybody raise it? Okay, Mr. Cabingas, what is a foul?
When a player fouls or can touch someone hardly.
Oh, good. So basically, the foul is caused by any physical contact, actions,
And
anything, abusive, yelling, or cussing. So even in your way of talking with the official will result to a foul. So if you are a player, basketball player, you must decline using those words like don't follow me. Okay? And then the other hand signal that the referees do is
violations.
so what is violation?
Players' actions that break basketball rule.
Okay, very good. So violations are the actions that a player does, or there are rules in basketball, right? That like what we discussed last meeting.
Yes.
So when they violate that one, they will be called a violation by the referees. Okay, class, let's have an activity. I have here definitions of the following violations and fouls and signals by the referees. So these definitions are basically the definitions of those specific fouls and signals. So I have also here flashcards. So can anybody volunteer putting these flashcards on the? Let you just guess kung asa ang saktong hand signal for that definition. Okay, Mr. Desuyo, do you want to volunteer? Can anybody volunteer? Sige na, ano mo nilalabangan? Alaka, ano? Malinalay ko. Okay. Ben. Okay. Okay, very good. Now, please sit down. Sa inyong ipampilit na siya ay sayot, no? So, I'm correct din. So, pinindubot ko. Siya correct, okay. Hindi siya. Pwede sila. Okay. So these hand signals here, okay,
Here.
sorry. These hand signals here are the violations, and these are the fouls. So basically, there are 5 common hand signals that is called for the violations by the referees. So in an official game, they usually call these violations like the traveling violation, backward violation, double dribble, the 5 seconds violation, and the jump ball. So, kung mananalo basketball, kita yung perminti mabantayan ni itawag sa referee. And this is the most common faults na mabuhat sa players. Okay? So, I will discuss these violations. So, we have here first the traveling violation. So, can you read what is the meaning of this?
A ball handler takes too many steps while dribbling.
Okay, so obviously, traveling is called by the referees when a player takes too many steps holding the ball without dribbling. Okay, so when a referee calls this violation, they act like this. Can you follow this? Okay, very good. So just like dancing, but it's not okay. It's stay position and then you action that. And next is backward violation. So what is a backward violation? So in basketball, di ba, na ay court. The players play at the court. So backward violation is an offensive player with ball past the half court line and pass back or read back the half court. So if a player, by the way, in a basketball court, there is a line at the center, right? Are you familiar with that? That is called the
Center line.
Oh, very good. So when a player passes on the center line and then goes back, the referee will call that a backcourt violation. So obviously, when the referee calls that, the possession of the ball will be given to its opponent. And the next is the double dribble. Can you please read?
A player stops dribbling and then attempts to dribble again.
Okay, so the action for the double dribble is like you're drumming, no? Double dribble. So basically, a double dribble is when a player dribbles, and then he holds it, and when he dribbles it again, that is the violation. That is a labag sa rules sa basketball. And then next, hand signals of violation is the 5 seconds violation. So this happens when the player always keeps the ball in his hands without passing it. Okay. So, can you read? Can you read, class?
Player fails to pass the ball in within 5 seconds during inbound.
So, inbound, no? So, inbound happens when the player wants to pass the ball inside the court. So, usually an inbound happens when the ball goes out of the court, okay? So, when the player holds it for 5 seconds during inbound, he or she will be called a 5-second violation by the referees. And then the 5th common violations called by the referees is the jump ball. So jump ball is action like this, no? So you have your thumbs up, and then you pull it up. So that jump ball happens when an offensive player gains possession of the ball at the same time. So for example, ang isa player, na offensive player and the defensive player will inis na ba na sila? Then the referee will call it a jump ball violation. Okay? Gets?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, class, so you know already about the violations and signals, right?
Yes, sir.
So I have here a bonus. So kung kinsa daw maka-perform sa isa ani, they will have additional points for their quiz, okay? Can somebody volunteer?
Go, Jason.
Oh, Mr. Cabingas, okay.
Yay! Go,
Okay.
Konrad!
Go in front.
Just that.
So, ikaw mala, mamili ka sa inyong i-perform.
Traveling, sir.
Okay, traveling. Sige, saan man?
Like this.
Hamanan mo.
When someone takes too many steps,
Okay, very good. Oh, later on, na 5.6 down. Kan napalain, isa pa man. Sige, ikaw, Mr. Desuyo, ikaw. Asa na yung
Double dribble, sir.
okay, saan na siya?
When a player does
Ay, napag-explain. You perform it. I will give you plus points for that later.
this one, sir.
Okay. But before ka maging ano, saan buhat mo sa referee?
The referee will call, which means the referee raise their hand like this, and then he
Points.
point the player.
Okay, very good. Now sit down. Okay, that's correct. So, si Mr. Cabingas at Mr. Desuyo ang plus points niya, kaya wala mo nagpa-participate o ba? Okay. Okay, now we are done with the hand signals for violations. So let's proceed to the hand signals for fouls. So basically, with the same with the violations, there are 5 common fouls that is called by the referees during a basketball game. So these fouls are, again common, so not by uban good na fouls, but these are the commons, okay? So first is holding foul, pushing foul, illegal use of hands, blocking foul, and then charging foul. So holding foul, what is a holding foul?
When a defender holds, grabs, or pulls an offensive player.
Okay, so obvious ang alam pa lang holding, no? So when a player, a defensive player holds the offensive player to steal the ball or with other intents, no? They will be called a holding foul by the referees. So the referees will perform or will action this hand signal. No, so when first the referee will of course whistle and then he holds his punch like this. So and then like this. So this is holding foul, okay?
Yes, sir.
Next is the pushing foul. A pushing foul is when a defender pushes or bumps into an offensive player. So when an defensive player pushes a player, no, obviously pushes with the name pushing foul. So a player performs pushing to his opponent, he or she will be called this foul. And the next is the illegal use of hands. So usually, a player is trying to protect the ball when they play, right?
Yes, sir.
So when sometimes the offensive player smacks or the defensive player smacks the hands of the opponent player, they will be called this foul. So when a defender slaps, as what I've said, hacks or smacks an offensive player with the ball. And then the next foul hand signal is the blocking foul. So the referee will act like kanang musik guardia, okay? Gana siya, and then he performs this and that. So what is blocking foul, by the way? Blocking foul is when the defender uses their body and makes contact with an offensive player. Okay, so when somebody, for example, a nice player na mag-drive inside the court, and then someone kanang bumps him like kanang with a serious intent kanang dili siya accidental. Of course, it could be accidental, but kanang na siya intention na banggaan dil, he or she will be called this foul. And then last common called foul is the charging foul. So a charging foul is called when, can you read?
An offensive player runs into a defensive player already has passed.
Position.
Position, okay. So a charging foul happens when the offensive player tries to foul or tries to do smacking, pushing with the defensive player. So, di ba offensive player, sa'yo na offensive player gani?
Nagawin bola.
Okay, ang defensive player kaya ang
Wala na gawin ng bola.
very
Defense
good.
siya.
So, again, like earlier, I will give you plus points kung action ninyo. Pinsa, mag-volunteer.
Dito, sir.
Abian? Sige, Abian, sino para?
Blocking foul, sir.
Okay, Salman.
The referee will,
Okay, whistle.
whistle, yes. The referee will whistle and
Then,
then his gesture signals will be like this.
okay, very good. So, okay, plus 5. Okay,
Yay!
okay. So, okay, we will have a quiz later. Next meeting di ay. Kaya wala nang kayo time.
Any clarification about the discussion?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Get one up sheet of paper and then name 5 hand signals in basketball and explain what are the purpose during a basketball game.
Okay, sir.
Okay, class, are you done?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Just pass your papers.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. For your assignment, next meeting, group yourselves into 3 groups. Choose at least 5 hand signals in basketball and provide the video of our scenarios of your chosen hand signals. We will have a film showing of next meeting.
Yes, sir.
Bye-bye.
Okay, that's all for today. Class dismissed.
Thank you, sir. Bye-bye.
Bye.